The answer is bourbon. Obviously, I'm kidding, but Lady Jack has a legitimate question here, and I think it's time to answer it. How do we deal with writer's block? Or just that sense of not feeling inspired, not feeling motivated? Because it's something that every single one of us deals with at some point or another. And the tricky part is that it can be caused by all sorts of different things, right? I've had writer's block when I'm feeling depressed, or I've had writer's block when I've just been overwhelmed with work. Or sometimes I've had writer's block when I'm just super happy and enthusiastic about everything going on in my personal life, and things are just so good there that I don't want to walk away from that to spend time writing. And all of those reasons can have different solutions. And every person has different solutions. But I have 2 suggestions that I think will help most of you with most of your cases of writer's block. These are the things that have worked for me really well in the past. Okay, so the first thing I think we have to do is stop looking at the writer's block as an issue with our writing in general, but more specifically with an issue in writing our work in progress. We're locked up. Maybe we've painted ourselves into a corner. Maybe we're just not feeling our character at the moment. So this first suggestion is built around the idea that you're going to step away from your work in progress. And not like for very long. I'm not talking about starting a new project or anything like that. So this is the exercise that I want you to try. I want you to open up an app. Now, I used to use Twitter for this. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I don't use Twitter. But if you use Threads, Mastodon, Blue Sky, even if you don't use it, if you have an account with one of those apps, that's what I want you to open up. Now, when I was doing this on Twitter, Twitter had a character count limit of 140 characters. Now it seems like all these platforms have character count limits of 300 to 500 characters, which is more than I really want them to be, but it's fine. We can make that work. So I want you to sit down and clear your mind of your work in progress and just try to come up with an opening line. This is where you're really going to lean into like, I don't care about story, I don't care about character. I'm just trying to make one line of writing that sounds really cool. Something that people are going to click like on. Something that people are going to retweet or share or whatever. You're not trying to come up with the perfect tweet. You're trying to come up with the perfect line from a book or a story or a poem, whatever it is. It could be a line of dialogue, but just some individual 300 character long line that is going to catch people's attention. And you're going to type that out and stick on the hashtag #amwriting and then send it out into the universe. You gotta hit send. You gotta let people see it. You can even do this here on TikTok. I've done it a couple times. Just write something short that'll fit into no more than a 3-minute video and then put it up as text on screen with a voiceover. Here's a bit from one of the ones I did. And it's not about the people seeing it. It doesn't really matter if anyone reacts to it at all. The point is that you're trying to come up with just some piece of short writing that you feel is so good that people might click like or might click share. And once it's out there, it's out there. There's nothing you can do about it. And then here's what you do next. Do it again. But the second line, while it should be standalone, a person sees it by itself and just goes, wow, that's cool writing. Click like, but make it connected to the first. So if they see the first and then see the second, it makes sense as a progression. But if they see the second one by itself, it's fine by itself. And then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. Just keep trying to make the perfect line. And you're building a little story where every line feels fantastic. The story doesn't have to really make sense. This isn't a story you're going to publish. This isn't your new work in progress. It's just an exercise to get your brain working and make you stop thinking about the other thing. This has worked for me so many times, and it is my number one piece of advice when people ask me, how do you overcome writer's block? Okay, option number 2, join a writer's group. There are different kinds of writers groups out there. Try to find a writers group that isn't people sharing their works in progress. Try to find a writers group that has an assignment each week that you need to work on. These assignments are almost always going to be very short. In the writers group that I'm in right now, our teacher assigns us 300 to 500 word assignments. It's getting you to think about storytelling. It's getting you to think about craft. It's getting your mind off of the thing that you're hung up on. It's basically the same thing as advice number 1, except this is with a group of people where you're feeling supported and learning something. And the good news for you is, if there's not a writer's group around you, if you're having a hard time finding a good writer's group, you can join us at Book Talk Writers Group. Book Talk Writers Group is a prompt-based, assignment-based, critique-focused writers group where you take the prompt that I've given at the beginning of the week, you write up to 1,000 words, which is a lot of words for a writers group, based on the prompt, submit it, and then either myself or my co-host MK Dockery will read the assignment, and the group as a whole will discuss it and talk about what worked and talk about what didn't work and help you work on craft and support you as an author. And it meets every Sunday, starting this Sunday, March 10th at 7 p.m. Central. And everyone's welcome. You don't need to be invited. You just need to take the prompt, do the assignment, and submit the assignment by Friday, which I know is creeping up at this point, but the other nice thing about this group is it's not a commitment. Do it the weeks you want to do it. Don't do it the weeks that you can't do it. There's no invitation. There's no getting kicked out. You're just coming together with other writers to work on your writing. And I promise it helps with writer's block. So thank you, Lady Jack, for that question, and hope to see you all on Sunday at Book Talk Writers Group.